Just before I start this video, I just thought I'd show you the plants I'm growing. We have, bird flying around. This one here, it's a chili plant. This one's also a chili plant. It's seen better days, but there are life growing from it. And this one, which my cat has decided to poop in, so I'm not angry at that. That's actually good fertilizer, so yeah, that's that. There's the cat down there. Let's do some game reviews. Reviewing two games here today. The first one will be in one video, the next one will be another one. This is the first, that's the second. Alright, so the first game here is Rise of the Tomb Raider. This is a PlayStation 4 game. It started off as an Xbox One exclusive. It was released last year, the year before, I think. It's a pretty recent game. I think it was released last year in 2016. And I thought it looked really good. I really enjoyed the 2013 game on the Xbox 360, but this was only released on the Xbox One, which I did not have at the time of its release, so I waited until its PlayStation 4 release, and I found this for $20 at my local markets from a seller, which is really good. And she has some other games too, which I want to grab at some point, you know. She has Battlefield 1, which I'd like to do a video on. She also has Mass Effect Andromeda, which I would like to try out, just to try it. But, as for this game is really good. If you're paying $20 for this, you are going to get your money's worth, absolutely. This is a sequel to the Tomb Raider game on the Xbox 360, and it's really good. If you play the Xbox 360 game, you're going to get more or less the same game. It's very similar, but this one just has a lot more stuff to do, and it's more... I'd just say there's more stuff to do. There's more, like, weapons to unlock and stuff, but you start off in the game, climbing a mountain, you're trying to find this, thing that will give you eternal life. It's something that your father was trying to track down the entire time, and Lara Croft is trying to get it to prove her father wasn't a crackpot. And you get separated from your friend, and you end up in this valley and find out that this ancient civilization is kind of living down there and still thriving, and there's this, I think they're supposed to kind of be the Illuminati, but they have their own name. I don't remember what it is. Look on the back real quick. I don't remember, but it's like this group that's trying to destroy you and get the thing for themselves. It's a lot like Uncharted in that, where it's like, there are all these bad guys you have to shoot, and they're just like kind of fodder between areas. And if you've played the Uncharted series, you're probably really going to enjoy this, because it's a lot like the Uncharted games. It's a third-person shooter, and the game is kind of split up into segments between third-person shooting, where you're taking down a whole bunch of enemies. You get a bow, you get guns and stuff. I really like using the bow in this game, because if you get a headshot on an enemy, it's an instant kill. Guns are good, but I find I was running out of ammo for them a lot, so I would use the bow more, and then, like, at the very end of the game, I would use my gun, and then, like, it was a little bit easier than if I had just used my guns the entire time and had to rely on arrows. But second part of the game, like the second kind of portion, you'll have the third-person shooting, but you also have the puzzle segments. There are segments where you're faced with, like, a tomb, or, like, a tower you have to get up, or something you have to destroy, and there's a big puzzle to try and solve it. Those are probably my favorite parts of the game. They were really good. There are a lot of them, so if you're not very good at puzzles, you might want to play with a guide. I only had to use a guide twice in this game, which I'm really proud of. I played Portal 2 and had to use a guide in that a lot, but so I didn't have to use a guide as much, which is nice. It's nice being able to sit down and play a game, and even though I'm presented with hard, challenging puzzles, I'm not like dumbfounded by them for the most part. There was only twice where I really had to look something up, and then I was like, of course that's what I have to do. Silly. Most of them I did just figure out myself. So it's set up in those two portions. You get a lot of weapons, which you can upgrade and do stuff with. There's a lot of collecting stuff. There are a lot of things to collect in this game. I'd say in every kind of room or area you enter, there's going to be stuff you can pick up. There's going to be an animal you can shoot to get its hide. You shoot animals to get their hides to get, like, new costumes and stuff. and some costumes are better for certain situations than others. There's a lot of areas that you can't access without certain abilities and items, and that's kind of like The Legend of Zelda, where it's like you can go into these areas, but you can't complete them without this certain item. So it's like you have to go into more of the game, and then you'll get the item, and then you can go back to earlier in the game and use that item to get past this thing. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that for a lot of the challenge dungeons, and the challenge dungeons are probably my favorite part of the entire game. There are all of these like bonus stages where it's just like not a super big dungeon, just a small one, and if you finish the dungeon you get a special ability, and the special abilities are really useful. You do level up in this, so there are some RPG aspects. You upgrade your weapons and all that. You level up by buying abilities, and that's pretty good because you get some really good abilities later on, like the ability to quickly heal yourself in battle if you take damage, the ability to like grab arrows off of enemies that you have shot, stuff like that. That's just really useful. You can craft a lot in this game. There's a lot of crafting arrows and stuff. You can craft certain kinds of arrows. You can craft a normal arrow, a poison arrow, an explosive arrow, which was cool, and a fire arrow, which sets enemies on fire. It was really good. Yeah, I definitely recommend this game. Graphics are something else. Graphics in this are just crazy good looking. There are segments where I had to just stop and look around and go, whoa, this looks really good. Which for a game released last year is still really telling. It's like, it still looks like a really good game. Yeah, graphics are really good. Sounds really good. Like, when you're in battle, you can often hear bullets whizzing past your head. Every time you fire a shot from your gun, you actually hear the bullet being shot out of your PlayStation 4 controller because there's a microphone in there, and that's just something kind of neat that kind of brought me into the game a little bit more. It helped my immersion in it. The music's really good. Music is fantastic in this game. I really like the music. I'll put music in the video here so you can hear it. Yeah, it's really good. The story's really good too. Explain it a little bit. And, you know, there's all these characters you meet. There are plot twists, you know, people turning on you, people not seeming to be who they really are, stuff like that. Characters who seem to die, but then they come back, stuff like that. It's really good. I think the big twist at the end with the secret civilization and all of that is really cool. Like, at the very end of the game, you go into this ancient city where it's like there's this undead army that you have to fight, and they're like, it's a really cool highlight of the game. I really enjoy it. So I definitely recommend this one. Give it a go if you can find it. I'm sure you can. I got this special edition. Came with some cool stuff. It came with a really cool bonus mission called here we go, Baba Yaga, the Temple of the Witch. That was really cool. It was like this big bonus mission that took like 4 or 5 hours to complete, and you're fighting like this witch. It's really cool, and she has like the house that walks. It's just a really fun segment. And there's a lot of like occult stuff in this game, a lot of stuff like that, you know? And I'm losing my words. It's just a really good game. Definitely check it out if you can find it. So yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One. I'm pretty sure it's out on PC as well. It's single player only, to my knowledge. Yeah, only one player, and that's fine. This isn't a kind of game where you really need like multiplayer deathmatch and stuff like that, but it does have co-op, which is cool. You can do parts of the game in co-op. I don't think the whole game's in co-op. No, you can only do like endurance and co-op, but that's cool. Yeah, it's just something extra. Check it out, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Definitely gets my recommendation. It's definitely one of my favorite games.